Welcome to the special committee of the whole meeting for Tuesday, April 7th. I'm Steve Robinson and I'll be your chairperson this evening. First off, we'll begin with our land acknowledgement. On April 7th, 2026, we acknowledge that this sacred land on which Smiths Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and is rich in Indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We are grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might meet here today. We are also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smiths Falls. We are mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual history of nation building through peace and friendship, being mindful of generations to come. So I'll call the meeting to order at 5:02 p.m. And can I have a motion to approve the agenda? Moved by Councillor Miller, seconded by Councillor Brennan, that the April 7th, 2026 special committee of the whole meeting be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest and or conflict of interest in general nature thereof? Seeing none. Approval of minutes. We don't have any. And no delegations. And there's no CAO or director's verbal reports, no committee of the whole consent reports. So we're into priority issues. 9.1. Lift part lot control plan 27M109 blocks 1 and 24 with Manager Grenke. Come on up, Carl.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening. This is happy to bring forward a quick report on part lot control for a couple more blocks in the Bellamy Farm subdivision. So as council recalls from a few of the earlier ones we looked at, this is an instrument under the Planning Act that ultimately allows for the freehold division of the townhouse blocks into individual lots that would then be sold to the purchasers of the subdivision. So Parkview is proposed as filed for the lifting of part lot control for 2 more blocks comprising a total of 8 units. So two 4-unit townhouses would be enabled to be sold once the bylaw is passed and registered. So our recommendation is that council adopts the bylaw, and I welcome any questions or discussion from council.
Thanks, sir. Good. Yeah. Well, everybody's got their thumbs up. Okay. Councilor, yep. Councilor McGuire too. All right. Thanks. Next, we have borrowing bylaw with Royal Bank of Canada with Director Dower.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Council. So this is the first time in my career I've ever come back with a report like this. We, as Council is aware, just so the public is aware, we came with a bylaw to look at clearing up our unfunded capital projects from the past, moving them to debt structure within Royal Bank of Canada at a rate of 3.78%. Generally, the report says generally those rates hold for 2 weeks, and when things are a little more topsy-turvy, a week. We discovered with the world events that are going on, we discovered that we ended up having to change the next day. So when the forms were signed right after the council meeting, submitted them the next day, sheepishly our Royal Bank rep came back and told us that those rates risen from 3.78 to actually 4.15. He did go back and appeal on our behalf to get them. Royal Bank heads were not willing for this one to compromise and to bring that rate back down. Just for councils, we talked about this last week, but just again, the bond market is very susceptible to world events. More the equity market usually kind of plays, and I believe I'm saying this right, usually plays along more with the Bank of Canada rates. But with the bonds look at events that are happening or could be happening in the future. And what those rates are set on is based on the anticipation of what's happening in world events, because you're locking in for a certain amount of time. So we did experience such a large increase Now, since then, the rates have come back down a little bit. That 5-year rate that started at 3.78 went up to 4.15, came back down to 4.08. So staff did explore some other terms for the fixed rate. So again, it's a 30-year amortization period. We were looking at a 5-year fixed rate. So Royal Bank came back with an update on the 5-year, 4-year, 3-year, and 2-year. With the idea being the risk on either side. The risk is that the rates go up. If you don't lock in for a longer period of time, you expose yourself to the risk of the rates possibly going up and being subject to those, such as many residents are seeing when they're renewing their mortgage currently. Side is that if you do lock in for that 5-year period and the rates do go down, then you aren't able to take advantage of those lower rates. These are the rates: 5-year term 4.08, 3.96 for 4-year, 3.91 for 3, and 3.76 for a 2-year term. Now the difference from the original with the 5-year, we're looking at just over $5,000 per year in repayment of an increase from what the original bylaw was. For the 4-year, it's just over $3,000. For the 3-year, it's $2,300. And then for the 2-year, it actually saves $75 a year in total. So not a huge significance, but there is flexibility to be able to try to anticipate, judge, although we don't, as my most recent financial advisor said, we don't have that crystal ball to be able to predict what's going to happen. But I've had some discussions, and I'm moving towards and want to have a discussion with council about it, with the anticipation of possible changes in upcoming election in the midterms in our neighbors in the south, with the possibility that if the Iran situation gets settled up, we could be looking at some decreased rates. So the staff is recommending to look at a shorter term, fixed term for this first portion, and in hopes that the rates will come down and then renegotiate at that point for a lower rate, not unsimilar to what you would do with your own mortgage for your house. So with that, I'm sorry, I also forgot to mention that all of these rates are within the budget. When we did the budget for 2026, it was based on Infrastructure Ontario rates, which were current at the time, which is 4.67, which is considerably higher than any of these. So all these rates, no matter what we do, they will be within the budget. So there's not a financial impact on the budget. So I'd open it up for questions and possible discussions to arrive at a conclusion.
Thank you. Mayor Paco.
Sure. Thanks, Paul. The 5-year rate declined a little bit since last week. Did the 2-year rate adjust at all?
I didn't have the 2-year rate. I'm sorry. From last Monday, this is the funny thing. They actually held steady since last Monday. When we were looking at the rate the Friday before that, which is when the 5-year went up to 4.15, at that point, I didn't have the rates for the 2 and the 3-year. So
Okay.
I don't know if they've come down as well.
I'm more inclined to go shorter term. I mean, absent, I guess, the war in Iran right now, we would not be seeing the impact on the bond markets. And you're right. I mean, they tend to be the best indicator of where interest rates are going, and central banks will follow and adjust rates based on other factors. But overall, if things escalate there, and extend, we could see rates continue to rise as inflation rises because of the impact from the oil shortage globally and how that's affecting everything else. But overall, I wouldn't want to go longer term, or like even a 5-year, I think right now, we might. And reason being, I guess, if we do see things get worse, odds are we could see a recession globally, and eventually central banks start to lower rates and eventually the economy picks up and we see things really better. So I think 2 year probably is a sweet spot, and we never know for sure. A lot can happen between now and then. And that leaves our interest payments and our payment and our interest charges about the same as where they are today, right? These are modest savings. I think that would be my preference, would be go shorter term and hopefully, unless we see the global economy really heat up in the next couple of years and inflation become a bigger factor, and rates may be higher in a couple of years, but all probability would likely see lower. My hope.
Councillor Brennan.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's sort of like throwing a dart at a wall. But 2 years, I'm fine with that. We're still well within budget. I think one thing that I've always thought with the markets is there may be down times, but they always come back every time. So it's just a matter of when. And I think 2 years is reasonable. And yeah, I agree.
Councillor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. How much tomorrow we can go down to the bank. All hell breaks loose tonight with the president bombing Iran and so we lock it in tonight, but we go down to the bank tomorrow, and it could change that quickly.
Well, we would sign the agreements and send them off tomorrow because RBC's hold off with the agreements to find out which way we're going to go. So we wouldn't be signing anything until tomorrow. But you're right. There's always the possibility we could wake up in the morning and the rates have jumped up a little bit. So these rates are good as of this morning. They've actually held for a week, which is why the new bylaw doesn't specify what the rate is in the term. We can insert the term into the wording, but would like to leave the rate open and flexible, that if it does rise a very small amount, that we can move forward in order not to stumble any further, and then that would require some trust for council on the part of staff to be able to move forward with that. So I just want to be open and transparent that's what we're looking to do. But through the chair, Councillor McKenna, you're right. It could change first thing in the morning.
Just to follow up, I don't see it as a stumble on your part at all, if that's what you're implying. The world events have clearly shaken the bond markets, and we're in a lot of unsettled times for sure. So I think you're managing it the best way you can. I'm uncomfortable at a 2 year, to be honest with you, but I'll go with the wishes of council.
Councillor Miller.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. And I'm fine with the 2 year also, but I do appreciate that a little discretion may be needed tomorrow when you try to lock this in. And I'm also quite comfortable with that between you and CAO Morris to make a wise decision here. So I'm happy with a little leeway if you need it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, I'm happy to support that and give you the leeway in the event that the same thing happens. Thank you for bringing that up, because that was my question about tomorrow. Yeah, so we've got a minimum of 5 people that are interested in going that direction. So we'll be moving that forward.
Right.
You got any questions or comments, Councillor McGuire? Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
All good. Yeah, I agree with the consensus.
Okay. CAO Morris.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So we will report back with the eventual rate that we lock into after we sign it tomorrow.
Perfect. All right. So we'll move along. Are there any committee, board, and external organization updates? Seeing none. Okay. We're going to go into an in-camera session. Motion is that the Council of Corporation of Town of Smiths Falls is provided in section 2392E of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, move into a closed meeting at 5:16 p.m. to discuss litigation or potential litigation of a matter. Then moved by Councillor McKenna, seconded by Councillor Brennan. All in favor? Carried. We shouldn't be too long, I hope.
Ms. Henkel, we're back on. I'll just have the screens.
Thanks for waiting. During our in-camera closed session, council gave direction on potential litigation matter. Now we're going to move on. We have information listing or correspondence items. Any? No? No notice of motions, so I need a motion for adjournment. Moved by Councillor Brennan, seconded by Councillor Quinn. All in favor? Carried. We are adjourned. Brief recess.
Gary?
We're back.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of Smith Falls Town Council for Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. On Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, we acknowledge that the sacred land in which Smith Falls is now located has been a site of human activity for over 10,000 years and is rich in Indigenous history. This land is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. We're grateful to the Algonquin ancestors who cared for the land and water in order that we might meet here today. We're also grateful to the Algonquin people for their contribution in the making of the Rideau Canal, which runs through Smith Falls. We're mindful of broken covenants and the need to reconcile with all our relations. Together, may we care for this land and each other, drawing on the strength of our mutual estimation building through peace and friendship, and be mindful of generations to come. Call the meeting to order at 5:48 p.m. Approval for the agenda is with Councillor McKenna, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Robinson that the April 7th, 2026 regular council meeting agenda be approved as circulated or amended. We changed it.
It was all circulated, I believe. Yes.
Okay.
Marcelo, was that circulated, right?
Circulated.
Yes. Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, seconded by Councillor Robinson, that April 7th, 2026, regular council meeting agenda be approved as circulated. All in favor? That is carried. Last for disclosure of pecuniary interest and or conflict of interest in general nature thereof. Seeing none. Approval of the minutes is with Councillor Miller, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Quinn that minutes of the March 23rd, 2026 council meeting be approved as circulated.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor Miller and seconded by Councillor Quinn that the minutes of the March 23rd, 2026 council meeting be approved as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Council reports, updates. Councillor Quinn?
Thank you. Just a few things this evening. Had a meeting with Cataraqui Trail, and they're installing kilometer markers along the trail starting in Smith Falls. And they're going to be working with Parks and Rec to get those installed. That'd be really cool. Had a Real Deal meeting, and they're moving forward for this summer. Great news, they did get a summer student, which will certainly help out there, and that was thanks to Scott Reed pitching in for them. Now, they have had a couple of break-ins in the store, and talking maybe we need to get some cameras over there. The other thing is we do have Pitch-In Week coming up, and I know that the shoreline cleanup is Saturday, May the 2nd, because I'm going to be part of that. Also, we had the Railway Museum AGM, and I'll just give a wee bit of a report here, but not too much. So we had the AGM, but the neat news at our AGM is that the Railway Museum and the Real Deal are going to be working together, and we're putting 3 pocket forests in at the Railway Museum, and going to be a stopping point for people to see what pocket forests are all about. So it sounds really interesting. Those are my reports.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Councillor Quinn? Any other reports? I have no reports myself, but I do have 2 proclamations. The first is International Day of Pink. So whereas International Day of Pink is set up as an international day against bullying, discrimination, homophobia, transphobia, transmisogyny in cities and towns all across the world. And whereas on this day, everyone is invited to celebrate diversity by wearing a pink shirt and by organizing activities in their workplaces, schools, and communities in support of the day. Therefore, be it resolved that I, Sean Panko, Mayor of the Town of Smith Falls, do hereby proclaim tomorrow, April 8th, 2026, as International Day of Pink, and encourage all citizens to wear pink, spark some conversations, and inspire acceptance in the Town of Smith Falls. And further that on April 8th, 2026, let's celebrate visibility in all its forms, being seen, acknowledged, respected, and listened to. And second proclamation, Councillor Quinn alluded to it, but Pitch-In Smith Falls Weeks, April 19th to May 3rd, 2026. Whereas hundreds of thousands of Canadians show their concern for the environment and their communities each year by participating in Pitch-In Canada projects to clean up and rejuvenate local neighborhoods. Whereas Pitch-In Canada, a national organization comprised of eco-action and community volunteers, believes that maintaining a quality environment is everyone's responsibility. Whereas Pitch-In Canada encourages voluntary action to keep communities clean and beautiful, restore and maintain a healthy environment, and instigate civic pride. Whereas the Rideau Environmental Action League continues to provide excellent leadership and coordination of local environmental initiatives. Whereas the Real Environmental Action League is once again organizing a community-wide litter cleanup for our town. Now, therefore, I, Sean Panko, Mayor of the Town of Smith Falls, declare the weeks of April 19th to May 3rd as Pitch-In Smith Falls Weeks and invite all citizens to participate in Pitch-In activities in Smith Falls. Okay, moving ahead with our agenda. We have a consent agenda with Councillor Quinn, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Robinson that the items in the consent report number 04-2026 be received from the clerk, be received and adopted.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor Quinn and seconded by Councillor Robinson that items in consent report number 04-2026 received from the clerk be received and adopted. Over to you, Clerk Estella.
Thank you, Your Worship. There's 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. The first being a bylaw to amend the parking bylaw and to update the set fines. The second being a resolution for the prioritization and funding of Kingston Health Sciences Centre redevelopment project. And the third is a resolution that council dealt with in January regarding Via Rail service reductions, and the motion has been somewhat amended to reflect Smith Falls.
Thank you. Would anyone like to pull any individual item up for discussion or debate? That'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, on to our bylaws. First is with Councillor McKenna, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself, second by Councillor Robinson, that a bylaw to authorize execution of agreement with the Royal Bank of Canada to fund capital projects as presented through the 2026 budget process be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, second by Councillor Robinson, that a bylaw to authorize execution of an agreement with the Royal Bank of Canada to fund capital projects as presented through the 2026 budget process be received, read a first time, and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Carried. Further discussion, Councillor McKenna?
Yes, on March 23rd, Council approved a similar bylaw directing staff to enter into agreement with the Royal Bank for a 5-year term at 3.87%. The world is in such turmoil that the bond market's changed literally overnight, and the rate had gone up for the 5-year term. And in spite of best efforts between our local branch and staff, we couldn't change the Royal Bank's opinion on that. So staff had to come back, sit back down with the bank, and Committee of the Whole decided earlier this evening that we would enter into a 2-year agreement at 2.76%. And this is to wrap up some of 5 capital projects that we now have all the final costing on. Becker Street Phase 2, Lombard Abbott, Cornelia Street, Catherine Street, and the Town Hall renovations Phase 3. So we've bundled the debt into this one instrument, and this bylaw will get a 2-year agreement, and we'll revisit it in the hopes that rates will come down and the world will settle down.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Third reading, please.
Again, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Robinson, that a bylaw to authorize execution of agreement with the Royal Bank of Canada to fund capital projects as presented through the 2026 budget process be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10685-2026.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, seconded by Councillor Robinson, that a bylaw to authorize execution of an agreement with the Royal Bank of Canada to fund capital projects as presented through the 2026 budget process be now read a third time. And I pass, signed, sealed, and numbered 10685-2026. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And Councillor Miller, you have our second bylaw.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw lifting part lot control for the lands described as Block 1 and Block 24 of Registered Plan 27M-109 to allow the division of the block into separate street townhouse lots be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Miller, seconded by Councillor Brennan, the bylaw lifting part lot control for the lands described as Block 1 and Block 24 of Registered Plan 27M-109 to allow the division of the block into separate street townhouse lots be received for the first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Carried. Further discussion, Councillor Miller?
Yeah, just briefly, we're very glad that Parkview is continuing to build in our community, and this bylaw lifting then prepares 2 more blocks for more home development in Smith Falls. So we're grateful for that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Third reading, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw lifting part lot control for the lands described as Block 1 and Block 24 of Registered Plan 27M-109 to allow the division of the block into separate street townhouse lots be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10686-2026.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Miller, seconded by Councillor Brennan, that a bylaw lifting part lot control for the lands described as Block 1 and Block 24 of Registered Plan 27M-109 to allow the division of the block into separate street townhouse lots be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10686-2026. All in favor? Carried. Inquiries or announcements? Ladies first, Councillor Quinn.
Thank you. This is an announcement that Graham Roy, our telegraph operator at the Railway Museum that's been there for about 15 years, he has retired from this museum. He is now going to take on working at Altville Station, doing similar things, but he wanted to make sure that I conveyed his thanks for all the support that he's got here, that we've got here at council, and how proud he was to be here in Smith Falls and work and get to know so many people. So we wish him all the best and pass on his thanks.
Well, thank you. And Graham, thank you for your time here. It's a big commitment, a lot of fun, a lot of small young minds influenced, I guess, over time, right? And a great ambassador for the Railway Museum that would moving on to other things. So we wish him the best. And Councillor Brennan, welcome back. Good to have you at our in-person meetings. And you have an announcement.
Good to be here. So I'm just going to announce or promote the Tom Folks Memorial Trivia Challenge to take place on Sunday, April 19th from 1 to 5. It's got my Rotary hat on here. It's sponsored by Rotary in support of Friends of the Library. And it's a great afternoon. And if you ever been to a trivia challenge that Tom Folks was running, it was great fun. So my challenge to council colleagues and staff are to put a team together, teams up to 8 people, and it'd be $20 each. So it's $160 to enter, and there'll be desserts and the bar's open, and it's hosted by Bob Perot from 923 WOW FM. So he's a great host, and he'll pick up the flag from Tom very well. So hope to see everybody there Sunday, April 19th, 1 to 5 at the Legion. Doors open at 12.
Thank you. Any other announcements? We have a confirmatory bylaw with Councillor Robinson, please.
Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McKenna, the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings on the 2nd, 9th, and 23rd days of March 2026 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor McKenna. The bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting on the 2nd, 9th, and 23rd days of March 2026 be received for the first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Carried. Discussion, Councillor?
Very quickly, it's procedural to get our meeting record into the record.
Okay, thank you. Third reading, please.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting on the 2nd, 9th, and 23rd days of March 2026 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10687-2026.
Thank you. It is moved by Councillor Robinson and seconded by Councillor McKenna that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting on the 2nd, 9th, and 23rd days of March 2026 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and number 10687-2026. All in favor? That's carried. Before we move back to you for adjournment, Councillor McKenna has trivia.
Well, thank you, just to warm everybody up for the Rotary trivia contest. So what do Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and Smith Falls have in common?
They all won the Stanley Cup.
No. They didn't all win. They all, their name is on the stand.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well done.
They
Okay.
didn't win, but
I'm working at the trivia, so I can't play.
Okay, so that means you're volunteering for trivia at our next council meeting in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
If you go to trivia, then you'll find out the question I'm going to ask.
I should unfortunately can't be there. I got to move my daughter back.
Yeah, I
to
heard.
university.
Yeah.
Okay, back for adjournment to Councillor Robinson.
Thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Brennan, that the committee adjourn its proceedings at 6:03 p.m. and stand so adjourned until the next duly called committee meeting.
Thank you.
Council meeting.
And you said at what time you said?
6:03.
6:03. Okay, moved by Councillor Robinson, second by Councillor Brennan. This committee adjourns adjourn is proceeding at 6:03 p.m. Stands to adjourn to the next duly called meeting of council. All in favor? You're adjourned. Good night, everyone.